Hello students, welcome back to my lectures of class 11th physics. We are studying the chapter motion in a plane. In the first video we have studied about the vectors and its different types. Now here in this video we will see the position vector and the displacement vector. Okay, first of all let us see that a vector, we are representing it with a simple arrow. Here in this arrow, this portion is called as the head, that is the starting point, and this point is called as the tail, which is the last point of that vector. Now here this arrow, whatever the direction is, it represents the direction of the vector, and from starting to end this particular represent its magnitude. Okay, this is what a vector is. यहाँ पर ये इसका head है, this is the tail, this complete represents its magnitude. ये जितना ज़्यादा होगा उतना ही ज़्यादा इसका magnitude होगा, और अगर कम है तो उतना ही उसका कम magnitude होगा. And this direction, this arrow represents its direction. Okay, now we have to represent the position and the displacement vector. Now first of all, what this position vector is. Now in order to define the position vector, we have defined that what actually a position is. Position means a particular point where the object is kept. अब यहाँ पर हम position vector और displacement vector है, we will define it in terms of the rectangular coordinate system. अगर हमारे पास ये एक rectangular coordinate system है, here I am assuming it to be only two axes, that is x and y. Okay, now at any point I am considering it to be point A, and from starting, that is the origin, to point A, I am joining this line. So this point A, that is x, y. So point A represents the position. Okay, and here we have 0, 0. So I will represent this as the position vector r. Now how I can represent this position vector r? I can represent this r is equals to x I cap plus y j cap. Now I have directly written it because of the points A, that is x and y. क्योंकि यहाँ पर जिसका starting point है वो क्या है 0, 0. So either you can write here x minus 0 I cap plus y minus 0 j cap. That is also same. So at last you will get x I cap plus y j cap. These x and y are the coordinates, and this I cap represents a unit vector which is along x-axis, and j cap, that is a unit vector which represents a vector along the y-axis. So x क्या है along x-axis है इसलिए I cap, and y is along the y-axis, that's why we have written j cap. So this represents a position vector. Now I will represent two different position vectors. अगर मेरे पास यहाँ पर एक और position vector है, here I will represent that to be r2, और इसको मैं कर देता हूँ r1. यहाँ पर मैंने कर दिया इसको x1 और यहाँ पर कर दिया मैंने इसको y1. Okay, now here I am representing this point to be point B. Now let me write again. This r1 is equals to x1 I cap plus y1 j cap, and this r2, that is equals to x2 plus y2 j cap. So this r1, that is also position vector that represents position A. Similarly this r2, that's a position vector that represents position B, that is r2, and that is x2 I cap plus y2 j cap. Why? Because this point B, that is x2 and y2. Okay, और here we can assume कि एक हमारे पास जो ऑब्जेक्ट है वो पहले एक पॉइंट पर था, फिर कहाँ पर गया, पॉइंट B पर. So I can represent from A to B with this vector. This is the starting point and this is the final point. Okay, so here this A to B. So how we have defined the displacement? The displacement, that is the difference between the final and the initial position. अब यहाँ पर final position क्या है? That is x2 y2, and initial position is x1 y1. So if you want to find the displacement, you can say this vector that represents displacement vector. So how to write this displacement vector? That is final minus initial. Now this final, we have to subtract this x2 from x1 and y2 from y1. So this displacement vector I can write AB, that is equals to x2 final minus x1, and they both are along the x-axis, that's why I cap, plus y2 minus y1 j cap. So in this way we can represent a displacement vector. अब यहाँ पर एक और पॉइंट है कि जब भी आपको डिस्प्लेसमेंट वेक्टर को रिप्रेजेंट करना हो, you can write it in terms of final position vector minus initial position vector. कैसे? Here I have this AB that represents a vector, that is displacement vector. So I can write it. What is the final position vector? Means final at what point the body is reaching. That is at point B, and that is represented by R2 minus initial is R1. So here this R2, what this R2 position vector is, R2 you can see here, that is x2 I cap plus y2 j cap minus R1. R1 is here, that is x1 I cap plus y1 j cap. Now here what we will do, we will separate the components of I cap and j cap. So I can write here x2 minus x1 I cap plus y2 minus y1 j cap. This is also the position vector A, B. So here you can see, by subtracting the individual position vectors we can get the displacement vector, or directly also we can get the displacement vector if we have the points for those locations, that is the coordinate points. Okay, so this is what about the displacement vector. This is position vector, and this is also the position vector. So this is all about the position vector and displacement vector.